She's already started. This is grilled pizza.
We have 2 trays and it's just cornflakes on them, and we're going to crush them and roll them, and then we're going to put a little bit of flour on there. Once you've gotten the cornflakes pretty smashed, you want them pretty fine, you're going to just take a little bit of flour, sprinkle it on your pan. You don't want your pizza dough to stick to it. And then you get out pizza dough. And we've got our pizza dough, and this has been sitting out on the counter for probably a good 2 hours after being in the fridge for 24 hours. It's always important to make sure it sits in the fridge first. You're just going to knead it, make sure it's nice and flexible, I guess. Then you want to set it down on the center of your cornflakes and just kind of push it out a little bit. Now, you're not going to want to flip it because then you'll have all your cornflakes on the top, and the cornflakes are always going to be at the bottom. Rolling pan, and roll it out. You might need to just kind of use a little bit. You can use a little bit more flour on your rolling pan if it's really sticky, but try not to use too much of it. You don't want a real floury tasting pizza dough.
And while she's rolling out the pizza dough and making the pizzas, basically putting them together, I have turned on our grill and let it get nice and hot, warm it up, clean it off and do everything like that. And then when I actually bring the pizza dough out here, I will actually turn my grill down all the way and then just treat it like an oven and bake it. But we'll show you in a bit.
As soon as you're finished rolling it out, you want it to be pretty thin. It's going to be on the grill, so it will cook pretty evenly, unless you don't want really thick spots on it, and should be good to go. So here's our ingredients that we've got. We've got our pesto, which we've got more in the cabinets. You don't want a lot of pesto, but I just don't think that's quite enough. Your fresh mozzarella. It's important to use fresh mozzarella instead of just the shredded kind. Believe me, this pizza makes a difference. Spinach, and then your diced tomatoes, which you'll put on top.
Mozzarella. The pesto is actually really good. It's a little bit different kind of pizza, pesto pizza, like the pesto that you find in pasta. It's a lot of peas. Pizza, pasta, pesto. Say that 3 times fast. Pizza, pasta, pesto. So you can do whatever you want on your pizza, but tonight we're doing...
One is going to be a pesto pizza. Now, you don't want a lot of pesto on there. You just kind of want to spread it thin. Now, less is more here, people. You don't want to really load these pizzas up. They're pretty thin, and they're going to be sitting on a grill.
They have to go on the grill. You don't want them to fall through the cracks. And so you can't totally overload the pizza. You'll see how we do it. But we put a lot on the pizza, but the dough has got to be pretty good to withstand all of that until it gets a little cooked and can hold up on the grill.
One of them is going to be just pure pesto. The other one, I'm just taking what's left of my spoon of that pesto and just kind of mixing it in with this marinara sauce, or I guess pizza marinara sauce, and we're just going to put that on the other pizza. These pizzas are great for finishing up leftovers. If you have leftover tomatoes or a little leftover broccoli, you can make or chicken, make broccoli chicken pizza. Kids will eat it then. You can get them to eat their vegetables.
I love those vegetables.
Do you like your vegetables?
Like I was saying before with the pizza dough, you don't want your pizza to fall through the cracks, and so you got to be pretty careful with how much you actually load up onto your pizza, because it's a shame if you lose it all in your grill.
What I've got here, I've got our diced tomatoes on the bottom and our spinach, and I'm just kind of putting slices of mozzarella on the top, just kind of wherever I go. You don't have to do it in this order. Any order is really fine for the pizza, just whatever you like. Fresh basil on this would be preferred, but They didn't have fresh basil at the grocery store last night. So, basil leaves will have to work just fine. And I think it turns out just perfect with that. Well, we've got the pesto mozzarella pizza, and we've got what we are going to call a grandma's pizza, something similar to what is grandma's in New York.
So one tip that I told Katie about that I enjoy as the person who's putting this on the grill is that the pan that you take it off of, it's nice to have the flour on there because it slides off the pan a little bit easier when you're putting it on the grill. Easier to work with. And we'll show you that in just a minute. Thing I do, of course, turn the grill down a little bit, and you want to use some cooking spray on your grill. Again, because my grill's old, and it helps the pizza to slide on there and not stick as well. You don't want it to stick. So I coat it down. I even put some on my spatula. And then slide this on the grill. Both of them on the grill there. They're gonna be cooking up really nicely. Try not to burn the bottom of the pizza. Basically, you just want to melt the cheese because everything else kind of already cooked. The dough's pretty thin, so it cooks up pretty fast. But I don't know, 10 minutes? I've never really timed it. I've always just kind of waited for the cheese to be melted. I come back and check it often, so we'll check back in a bit. Been a couple of minutes. I'm just gonna check on the pizzas. You can tell the cheese is starting to melt. The fresh mozzarella, which is big clumps, is also starting to melt. I want that one to melt a little bit more, but I will go ahead and actually check the bottom here. Firms up pretty good. Get some nice grill marks in there. This one will actually probably be done before the other one. It's still a little bit flimsy, so I'm gonna keep on letting them go, like it to kind of crisp up. It's almost like a thin crust that's a little bit crispy, but we'll see how it turns out. Right. This pizza is ready to go. The mozzarella, those slices, they were pretty thick, but they're almost ready to go too. I think we'll leave that one on just a little bit longer. But this one is ready to go in. All right. Slice the pizza now, and then we'll be about ready to dig in. Grilled pizza. You can make it any way you want. We use a whole wheat dough from freshly ground wheat, and I of course recommend all pizza with your favorite beverage. So give it a try and leave a comment if you have any questions. We'll see you later.